Hi, everybody. I'm Mark,
I'm Rob.
and welcome to Mark and Rob's Sports Showdown, hottest sports talk show in the universe. If you haven't subscribed to, what are you waiting for? Please hit that notification bell when you do. If you like this video, please like the video and feel free to make intelligent, non-insulting comments. We're just going to have a short video today because nobody seemed to be too interested in the NBA Finals. I thought it was obvious before the playoffs started that Boston should be the favorites and that they were going to win, and I predicted them to win over Denver, but they ended up winning over Dallas, who nobody thought was going to make the finals. And then I think I said Boston in 7 over Dallas, and then after 2 games, I said it looks like it's going to be Boston in 5 because it clearly their defenders were too good for the 2 stars on Dallas, so they had too many defensive guards for Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. So
Yeah,
Rob,
I said Boston in 6, so I was kind of close, but
you took the Knicks when the playoffs started, Rob.
we're talking about this game. Not talking about my Knicks, okay?
Rob, I got to joke with you a little bit. All right, so Rob, give us your take on the game and the series if you want. You can count on the whole series. Comment on the game.
Well, it's pretty easy to comment on the whole series. I'd say it was boring, and it'll probably tell by the ratings. It's probably one of the lowest rated playoff games, and probably in history. I knew, Boston was going to win. They fooled around a lot and played with their food, but eventually I knew that Boston was definitely the better team, especially with defense, and then with hitting the threes. So Dallas made a game near the end of near the end. They made a game of it in the fourth quarter because Boston started going to that one-on-one stuff. But I knew this is not a surprising outcome.
Yeah, I don't think it was a good matchup for the reason I just gave for Dallas. They beat 3 of the 4 best teams in the West coming into for the playoffs. So that's pretty impressive. They didn't have to play the other one, obviously, but they have 2 star guards, and Boston has the defensive standouts in the guard position. They can just rotate on them, and Boston has more depth. They have better offense, better defense. I would have been shocked if Boston lost this series, to be quite honest. They had the best record in the league. Everybody knows that. Best 3-point shooting, most 3-point shooting. So I would have been really, really surprised. Jaylen Brown got MVP, and I think he deserves it. Yes. I think Jrue Holiday played really well, and it's hard to say about Jason Tatum because he played well overall. He just didn't shoot that great. And he did get a lot of assists and rebounds, so it's hard to take that away from him because you know what? If you're not shooting well, find other ways to contribute. I give him credit for that, and he's a great player. I don't want to take
Tatum. Yeah, people were expecting Tatum to probably do a lot better. I know I was, but he shot a lot of ill-advised 3-pointers, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And like you said, I mean, at least he did other things like make nice passes and rebound if he wasn't shooting. His shooting was not that well during the series, but
right.
He was expecting. I don't know if that was too much pressure on him, but I don't think he played that well.
No, but you know what? He's played well in other playoff games and other playoff series, and guess what? They got a championship now. Yeah. It's not like he tanked completely. So I give him credit. I give Jaylen Brown credit, the duo. And of course, Jrue Holiday, he's been on 2 different championship teams, and he was important to both times those teams won. He's the one that pushed Milwaukee over the edge, and he pushed Boston over the edge. I'm not giving him all the credit because they had 2 stars above him in both cases, but you got to give him a lot of credit because defense wins championships. That's what everybody says anyways. And he's a very selfless player, and I think that really shows. And he was probably runner-up in the MVP voting for all.
Well, I think Derek White, was an unknown hero. I mean, he really helped out with defense. I mean, he led the league in block shots for guards, and he made some nice blocks, and he played great defense. And then also he scored. He hit the nice key 3-pointers, overall play. So yeah, he's probably a little sleeper MVP, I call him.
And Jaylen Brown played really well in the playoffs, and I think if Kawhi Leonard is not healthy, Jaylen Brown's going to be the obvious choice to add on to that team because he also plays good defense. So I think that's what's going to happen. We'll find out in a couple of weeks because so far, they haven't announced one way or the other. I think it gives Boston their 18th championship, as probably every sports fan knows, and they're one ahead of the Lakers. They were tied at 17, obviously. And originally, Boston was way ahead because they kept beating them in the 60s with Bill Russell over Will Chamberlain and over Jerry West and stuff. And now they were tied because Lakers got all those championships with Kobe and Shaq and Kobe again, and then they kind of caught up. So we'll see what happens in the future. They're the two marquee franchises, even though Rob wants the Knicks to be the marquee franchise.
Watch out for my Knicks next year. Watch out for my Knicks next year.
Next year, and the Knicks are improving. And I think you finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel for the Knicks this year, and I think it's because of Jalen Brunson. That's my opinion, and I'm sure Rob agrees with that part. So yeah, I hope the Knicks are good next year. It's always good when New York's got a good team there. I didn't grow up a Knicks fan, but I am from Rochester, New York, so I root for him a little bit. Anyways, let us know what you thought about the series. I thought the series was a little boring because after 2 games you could just tell Boston was going to win this series. And I said that after 2. I originally predicted in 7. Then I said after 2 games, I said, okay, it's going to be in 5.
Right.
They just not a good matchup for Dallas. And Luka Doncic was a little injured, but that didn't stop him in the 3 playoff series before that. But Kyrie actually grew up this playoffs. He's an airhead. Obviously, he's selfish. I think he's an egomaniac. And he's not very bright. I guess it's the same thing as an airhead. He thinks the world is flat. But, I think he matured and he played better defense and passed better than he ever has. So, people.
Well, I like the sportsmanship after the game. That's what I really liked. He went up and shook hands with all the players. That's part of
Irving. By Irving.
Yeah.
I think he grew up. I did. It just took him a while. Some people mature late.
I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was really nice.
So, Rob and I weren't mature till age 48, maybe. Right?
That's about right.
Yeah, so 32 is good.
Takes time, people. It takes time.
So
some might say we're still not mature, Mark. So
no. Hey, you know what? And Boston doesn't have an old team, so you got to look at them as a major threat to repeat. And they got a good team, and they barely used
Porzingis. Yeah, if he can stay healthy, maybe they might repeat.
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, he's the unicorn. He's called the unicorn for a reason.
Yeah, when those trades announced with Holiday and Porzingis, I said Holiday, great pickup. Porzingis, great pickup if he was ever healthy, but he's never healthy, so it's not a great pickup because you don't know what you're going to get. But he's a unique player. He can hit a 3, he can play defense, he's mobile, but he's never healthy. So everybody knows it. But he's got a championship now, just like everybody else. Boston, congratulations to them. If you're a Celtics fan and you're listening, congratulations.
I guess being a Knicks fan, I could barely spit that out. I'm not going to say it.
I'm in Philadelphia, so now I've been a Sixers fan since I've lived here in '94. So, but I can still say congratulations because it's not like a team. I don't hate them or anything. So, and I don't think this was an annoying team. So, congratulations. That's all I have to say. I try to be nice about it.
Way to go, Celtics. Yeah, way to go. That's sincere.
So let us know. So that's it for basketball this year until the draft. We'll cover the draft. I don't think it's a very exciting draft because there's no marquee players really. But people like it because, you never know when a player, especially a first-round pick, can make a difference on the team. Look, Dallas picks up Lively from Duke. Nobody thought he was that good. I think it was the 12th pick. Mm-hmm. And guess what? He looks like he's going to be a star. He doesn't have a lot of all-around skills, but the skill set he does have, he maximizes. So things like that can happen. The 76ers max, he's way better than players that got drafted ahead of him. You never know. So we'll see what happens in the draft. This is our last WNBA one for now, and we'll have a preview of the NBA season in the fall, and we'll cover the draft. Other than that, you want basketball? Well, we've got a million Caitlin Clark. And we'll cover the Olympics too, the men's Olympic team. Obviously, We're going to cover the Olympics, so you can catch us on that. We'll cover the men's team, and we'll cover the women's if Caitlin Clark's on the team. If she's not, we won't cover the women. We won't watch. I used to, as long as Diana Taurasi's on the team, and Caitlin Clark's not because she doesn't deserve to be on the team. We'll see. Hopefully she'll see a Gray. Nothing against Chelsea Gray. Hopefully her injury doesn't allow her to play. And every day, Rob, it's more and more obvious she's not healthy enough to play. So I can't wait to see what their excuse is when she can't play. And they don't
I think they're going to wait till the last second. It's like, okay.
We'll see. It'll boom up the ratings. Everybody knows that. Speaking of ratings, we have a highly rated show last night on our live show. The last 2 live shows you can catch. They're on our website. Just go under live. And it's an hour long. Eastern time, 7 to 8, except for a major holiday. Please join us for that. You can call in, or you can make comments down below, which is what everybody was doing. We were debating the starting lineup for Indiana Fever yesterday, and we're going to do a video about that today. So if you like that topic, we're going to be covering that now and what are the chances of making the playoffs. If you haven't subscribed to yet, please do so. Hit that notification bell when you do, and like the video if you did. And guess what? Please make some intelligent, non-insulting comments. And we've been getting that, and we really appreciate your support. And that's all for today.
All right.
And
peace out.